what the heck are we doing today? Or what the heck am I doing this night? I am heading right now towards the cinema or the theater. I don't know where you are from. Some people say theater, some people say cinema. And here in Portugal, we call it cinema. We call theater something different. And I'm gonna watch the Warcraft movie. I'm proud to say that I'm taking my date with me. Someone very beautiful, which I want to present you right now. You will have the honor to get to know my beautiful bae, my beautiful date. I'm going alone. I'm gonna watch this movie alone. I'm gonna go to the theater by myself, absolutely alone, sozinho, nobody else. Is it that bad going to the cinema alone? I mean, it takes some courage. It really takes some courage, especially if you end up buying some popcorn. Buying popcorn just for you. And I'm gonna buy popcorn because I cannot watch a movie in a theater. I can do it at home, but in a theater, watching a movie without popcorn in your hands, it's like having sex without a condom and expecting not to have kids. I must have something to reach. I must have something to grab and put in my mouth. I will record some more when I get out of the theater and when I watch the movie to tell you a little about it and to tell you if I liked it or not. Meanwhile, me and my date, we're gonna try and enjoy it. If anything, I'll eat popcorn, which is something that I never eat these days. Banana! Alright, I just came out of the theater and I just watched Warcraft the movie. It's a roller coaster of ups and downs. That's how I feel about the movie. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not what it's supposed to be either, which is an incredibly well-written movie that can probably become something like Lord of the Rings, even though I don't want it obviously to be that. But still, if you compare both of those stories and both of those movies, Lord of the Rings has so much more to it, so much more to feel immersed about, and so much more to care about. Now, spoiler alert, okay? I'm gonna speak about this movie and I'm not gonna be careful with spoilers. At points, I felt like I was at home. I felt like I was really enjoying what's going on the screen. Parts where they would show Stormwind or parts where they would show known places in the game, like Dalaran. While there's moments where the movie feels great, there's moments where the movie feels like it's been made from a group of amateurs. Lothar is one of the main protagonists in the movie. He plays the commander of the Alliance forces. He is like this general that the king trusts. Take Aragorn from Lord of the Rings, okay? I think he did a much better job than what Lothar did in this movie. For a guy that is like a true soldier with honor, that defend the Alliance with all his heart, sometimes that Joker part of him kind of destroys the purpose of being a great warrior because it doesn't feel like that anymore. I want to talk about his relationship with Garona. That hybrid between orc and human that show up suddenly in the movie for no apparent reason, and we don't even know where she comes from. Their relationship is like effed up. Dude, it's like they were drunk one night and they fool around, they made up, and suddenly they are together. That's how I feel about their relationship, and I feel that's the problem with Warcraft the movie. You don't have enough time in the movie, and the movie is 2 hours, okay? The movie is around 2 hours. You don't have enough time to care about characters. You don't follow them for too long to keep your attention and to actually care about what ends up happening to the characters. The only character that I felt bad about and I felt worried about was Durotan. One of my favorite parts of the movie, and probably the one that saves it for me, was the fight between Durotan and Gul'dan. That was freaking amazing. I loved it. I loved it every second. I don't know how could they make the last battle, the last fight between Luthor and the other guy that, you know, becomes consumed by Fel, which I can't remember the name of. They made that fight about 2 seconds long, and I get the idea. Luthor gives you that look to the camera, and basically what happens is he uses his smartness, his intelligence, to overcome the orc. That fight was just, it was a joke, basically, and it shouldn't have happened the way it did. If you try to mix orcs CGI with real people, it just doesn't work. Sometimes it would change from a scene with orcs, which are completely CGI. If they use real people, it was probably for the expressions. Those were not real people with makeup. Another thing that I didn't like is that the whole movie pretty much portrays the orc as the bad guys. You know, the game doesn't give you that feeling. The game doesn't give you that notion that the orcs, the horde, are the bad guys. They are a faction, such as the Alliance. They have their own ways. It doesn't mean they're bad or that they are evil. One guy I didn't really like, the Guardian. I didn't like Medivh, and not because he is one of the bad guys in the movie, even though I wouldn't say bad guys. Is like this torn apart guy that wants to do good, but he ends up doing bad because he gets corrupted by Fel. The thing is, I didn't like his character. I didn't like his look. Every single time he would come up on the screen, he would look like freaking Jesus. Why did you have to portray him as Jesus? It comes out as a movie that prepares people for the sequel. That's what I get from it. And I feel in heart that the sequel will be much, much better than the first movie, the one we just got. I now arrived at home, so you don't need to be worried anymore about me having an accident or not. I'm safe. I'm at home, guys. All will be good. What I really feel bad about is that the downs could be not as low as they were, to the point where I would say the movie was great. But no, the downs were so low that I will end up saying it was an okay movie. I do recommend you go watch it. Maybe you'll have a different opinion. I do want to know your opinion. I think I've been talking about this for too goddamn long. I feel that I would probably have a better speech tomorrow after sleeping and after being at home and talking calmly. Last thing I will say, why did they have to make a new soundtrack for the movie when the game soundtrack is already so brilliant? I had so many times during the movie that I would hear a glimpse, a little bit of the game soundtrack. You know, it would start the song with a little bit of the game soundtrack, and then it would suddenly change to something else that somewhat uses the same melodies, but it's not the same music at all from the game. And I was like so disappointed, having goosebumps over Stormwind, over Dalaran and other places that you know in the game, hearing the soundtrack and then quickly changing to something else that was not the game soundtrack. The movie needed more time. Lord of the Rings, at some point, one of the movies, the third one, if I'm not mistaken, had 4 hours. Double the length of this movie. Have more time with each character and present them accordingly, like Lord of the Rings did. It's like Lord of the Rings happened, but they didn't learn anything from it to make this Warcraft movie, which I think could have been so much better. I'm gonna sleep. Bye-bye.